It says here on the wall,
Right then, guys.
graffiti productive. And there's
here
a large rubber ducky, bigger than all the other ones we've found. And he's got bottles of booze all around him. Not only that, but he has a couple soldier duckies guarding a parrot in a cage.
Assassin's Creed,
but there's more just like this in the Division 2.
The Far Cry 6 trailer, whatever.
What's
really
great about
Ubisoft
our community is
Reflection.
they come together. They find a common thing that they want to develop or find or get unlocked, and they just put time, effort
There'll be stuff I'll love, like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, maybe Splinter Cell.
So that means players are genuinely, hopefully enjoying just exploring the environment and finding all these little Easter eggs we've hidden around.
Beautiful coziness of Spiritfarer in this next video.
Hey everybody, I'm Rodrigue, marketeer at Thunder Lotus. We're an indie studio based out of Montreal, Canada, and makers of the games Jotun, Sundered, and our new game Spiritfarer, which is due out later this year.
I like the style of those games.
For the past 6 years, we've tried to make AAA quality games with a hand-drawn indie heart. Hitting a quality standard consistently in game dev is a huge challenge. There's so much trial and error on the path, and during the Sundered production, we were lucky enough to have the Ubisoft Entrepreneurs Program in our corner to help us reach our goals. As co-winners of the Ubisoft Indie Series in 2017, we received not only generous funding, but also crucial mentorship and access to the Ubisoft testing facilities. So we're grateful to Ubisoft for their support and helping us make what would become our biggest success to date. We've taken that experience with us onto what is our most ambitious production yet, and that's Spiritfarer, which we're calling a cozy management game about dying. In Spiritfarer, you play Stella, the newly appointed ferry master to the deceased. And as Stella, you're going to build a boat, you're going to explore the world in search of spirit passengers seeking passage to the afterlife. You're going to spend relaxing quality time with them, you're going to create lasting memories, but ultimately, you're going to have to learn how to say goodbye to your cherished friends.
Oh, man.
It's a game that's near and dear to our hearts, and something really special. We can't wait to share it with the world later this year. So look for it soon on PC, on Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox Game Pass. Thanks a lot, and cheers.
I want that. I do want that, you know.
It is time for an update on our favorite motorcycle platformer with the insanity, pain, and triumph
Trials!
and we all love. Trials Rising came out last year, but I think the team
I can't
from
believe
our
they're
Red
still
Studio
releasing
in
Trials.
Helsinki
I used to play the
coming to
demo of
for the fans of the franchise.
I think
So
Trials
let's take a look.
Motocross. I don't know, it was on Xbox 360. It was fun, but it was really difficult. I can't believe it's still making it. Man, just as I remember it being, obviously.
Hi, we're here today to introduce you to an exciting new endurance challenge coming to Trials Rising. But to make sure that we respect social distancing guidelines, Auntie and I decided to...
Do I fire the goose now?
What the
Fire the goose?
Fire!
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gigatrack.
What? Fire the goose! Fire the goose? Fire the goose!
Far from a remake of the classic track from Trials Evolution, this is an all-new journey across the world of Trials
I'm not gonna
Rising.
get it.
By far the longest track that we've ever put in a trial.
Did you tell him it's the longest track ever?
By
You
far
tell
the
them it's
longest
the
track
longest
we've ever
track
put in a Trials
ever.
game. The Gigatrack will take you across many different environments from the...
Oh my god, is she using her feet? What the fuck?
Ubisoft.
The most hyped
I'm
one,
Yusuf,
but still.
but there's no time to waste. So let's head straight for the streets of futuristic London and see what the hackers of DedSec are getting into.
The illegal paintings spreading subversive and hostile messaging over the last few weeks across London are not the work of several people as was originally believed, but the work of an individual. The criminal suspected to have links
Oh,
to
Watch
the
Dogs Legion, hey! I was wrong.
Authorities recommend not to approach the individual.
First, they came for the foreigners, and I did not speak out because I was not a foreigner. Then they came for the protesters. And I did not speak out because I was not a protester.
Jesus.
Then they came for the journalists. I did not speak out because I was not a journalist.
Oh, journalist. I thought it was a journalist.
And then they came for street artists. But I did not speak out because I am not a street artist.
This is cool. Is this actually all like live action? It's just some CGI or something? No, that can't be now. The people could still be live action. Just like the second CGI and laughing and stuff. Masking something. Text. Oof. That knee lands it with effect. It looks like a weird early 2000s music video. Okay, it looks like a
I realised that eventually they'd come for me, and there would be no one left to speak for me.
Why does he sound like the guy in the fake taxi videos? God.
And there's nothing more debilitating than that. This way, not to be able to do what you're passionate about.
After a long night, London is in chaos. The main arteries through the city are blocked. Hundreds of heavily armed Albion...
Well. Welcome to the Resistance. There's a welcome gift for our new
mask.
But the disappearance of the criminal...
You could have told me it was a bloody costume party.
Try it on.
The new key suspect has been identified as David Ford, a 43-year-old London taxi driver. He has no criminal record, but is currently believed to be a terrorist. People have been asked not to approach him. The authorities advise all residents...
That's cool. I like that.
Artistic vision and
it was very well done. Congratulations.
City needs a resistance.
Like the film, Watch Dogs Legion tells the story of ordinary heroes setting aside their differences in order to come together as a collective and to fight for a positive change. You can literally recruit and play anyone who you see in the open world. You profile people that are interesting to you, you help them with their problem, you play their origin mission.
Just help me get some closure and I'll do whatever you want.
Sounds like a DedSec problem. Leave it to us.
And that's how you recruit them into your team, and then they become the heroes of the game
I reckon we're
and the stars of your story.
And what are you doing in my flat? You with Albion?
Please, think more underground.
You with Albion?
I'm tickled, but think more underground.
What, DedSec? Yeah, right, and I'm Che Guevara. You done?
Yeah, right,
and they make the story not only, unique to them, but unique to you as the player and personal to you because they're, heroes that you've chosen and invested in. What would I say to fans? I guess I'd say, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Welcome to the Resistance.
Our London town, a modern metropolis, built on history and prosperity. Only took 12,000 years to build it up, and one night to tear it all down.
Oh my God. Listen up. Get all your units to move in and lock down the city.
With London under attack by a mysterious terrorist, the government turns to a private military company called Albion to keep everyone safe. What could possibly go wrong? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nigel Cass, CEO of Albion. He's kindly stepped up to establish order.
Understand this. I will not allow anyone, not even myself, to jeopardize this.
Albion, are they just now the new, what they're called?
London will be the first city
are they
in
the new bad
world
guys
to be made
that are
truly
very,
safe.
just pretty much the same as
Nigel's not the only opportunist who's taken a liking to this
Blue.
fair city.
Are they the new Blue?
Meet Mary Kelly, head of the most powerful crime syndicate in London.
Be sure and spread the word.
She and her goons are using the dark web to sell everything, from party pills to people.
This microchip is scary, I know, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
You made me a slave.
I also don't like
You do not want to ruffle her feathers.
Doesn't fit.
With the city out on its arse, it now falls on you to build a resistance and take back London.
All right, everyone. Faces on, guns out.
Any of the brave Londoners you see walking the streets can be recruited into your team. Like him. Her.
This is actually pretty cool.
Or even her.
I can't wait.
Everyone can become your next secret weapon.
This all, like, you can play as
In our
anyone.
first
It's
mission,
very
we need to get some dirt on Nigel Cass.
Oh, we're
and
gonna
that
get some
means
new
breaking
gameplay.
into Albion headquarters
Whoa.
inside the Tower of London.
What?
All the hardy souls you see here
Football
are people we have recruited from the streets of London. They all have unique abilities, and you're free to tackle this mission with whoever you like.
Construction.
Dear God, my eyes. Idly. Zip up, get to work, and let's never talk about this again.
Like everyone in
This is
DedSec,
cool.
Arthur can hack pretty much whatever. But as a construction worker, he has a particular set of tools that make him handy. He can even call his own cargo drone.
That's cool. Yeah,
Perfect for gate crashing, when you're not invited. And who needs a regular old gun when you have a bloody nail gun?
What?
Come in, you soy-eyed shitboy.
Who ain't you soy-eyed shit, boy? That's really cool. That's actually dope. Whoa.
Jesus Christ, what is that thing?
Perhaps we could approach this mission differently. If you'd rather keep your distance, we've got you covered. Amy is a drone expert.
What have we here?
A real tech connoisseur.
Hate spiders, but love this one.
What an adorable creepy crawler.
Here we are. Let's class the place up.
A drone expert does have the unique ability to summon their own drone. This little darling is fast and stealthy.
She aims, she fires, she hits.
She scores.
I'm reading incoming drones.
Oh, that's cool.
She can also hack enemy drones, turning the tide in her favor. And if you are not into direct confrontation, there are more ways than one to get the job done.
Professional hitman. Oh, Albion contractor.
Recruiting an Albion officer like Brielle here might be challenging, but it'll get you inside restricted Albion areas.
Don't mind me, just doing recon for a bunch of insurgents.
However, do anything suspicious and she'll probably wind up with a bullet in the back of her head.
You've been approved for entry.
Okay.
We're missing the human element here. I can get the Defense Minister on the line right now.
Well, if you feel you must.
Oh my word.
Criminals running our streets. Illegals threatening our families. The police commissioner himself. Assassinated by terrorists.
Well, that seems to be enough evidence. Next up, we're crashing Mary Kelly's organ farming operation and putting a stop to it.
That's good. The buyers expect high quality stuff.
And we need a hard nut for this.
Oh, he's the footballer with the green guy, isn't he?
Bags,
Don't disturb me in my natural habitat.
Lads, don't
Say
disturb me
hello
in my
to
natural
Mickey.
haven't
The man lives for his team.
Rugby union, that's it.
Another hair on my chest.
Yeah.
And doesn't mind getting his hands dirty.
Ooh. Ooh. Nice Glasgow case. Go on, lad.
He does have a slight drinking problem, though. And he's passed out. Ah, well, we'll come back to him.
We'll come back to him.
You know what? Let's go with someone a bit more professional.
Oh, we got Agent 47 out here.
It's almost crass to call him a hitman.
It's even got the black and red just not all the time. It's got his tie on top. That's cool.
Some might even call him an artist.
That is dope.
Here's the bastard responsible. Done and dusted.
Not bad if I do say so, innit?
Not bad, do say so.
Not everyone in London is a legendary assassin or a super spy, but everyone can be a hero.
Oh my god.
So get out there, find the best recruits, and build your resistance.
Oh my goodness. This is really dope.
It's time to take back London.
It's time to take back London. Are we going to get a October 29th, 2020? October 29th!
Plunging the player into a living, breathing city, teeming with unique locales and characters, has always been a central pillar of the Watch Dogs series.
Oh, I can't wait!
Here's Amanda Munt to tell us more.
My name's Amanda Munt. I'm
taking the bike
level artist on Watch Dogs Legion at Ubisoft Toronto. Being a level artist, I think, is the coolest job.
Yes!
Because we do get the freedom to kind of like pick and choose what little details we want to depict. And we get ample opportunities to tell the stories that we want to tell in the spaces that we're assigned to.
This is what I want to be.
I have the capacity to hide things and, you know, like small little Easter eggs.
Yeah.
In AC Unity, there was a boat somewhere in the world that was covered in cats.
Cats, yeah. That was her doing.
It happened again in Watch Dogs 2. And there may or may not be something in London that is a boat filled with cats in some capacity. I was fortunate enough to go to E3 last year. Some of the people that I was showing our demo to were from London. So no matter where I dropped them in the city, they'd go, "Oh my God, this feels like Camden. This, you know, this feels like Southwark. This feels like Westminster." When people are talking about some detail that I've put into the world and they're excited about it, like that feels so good as somebody who, you know, builds these worlds with care. I love it.
Of course you do. You always put care into the world you made it. I'm making a hero piece for my like project for school and that. For college.
And now some news for Brawlhalla. Abilities these new consoles will offer.
Now we have a special guest to tell us a little more.
Hey everyone, Phil Spencer from Xbox. With Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft is supporting smart delivery. So you will get the absolute best version of the game on any version of Xbox you're playing on. On Series X, you'll get to take advantage of the amazing work the team has done with DirectX ray tracing to create an absolutely immersive version of London like you've never seen before. Ubisoft has a unique ability to create immersive worlds, setting a new bar that continues to drive our industry forward. I'm a huge fan of Assassin's Creed. I love the time I've spent exploring the world in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. And I can't wait for you to see
Odyssey is an Assassin's Creed game.
From Assassin's Creed Valhalla that's coming up now.
All right, we know you've been waiting to hear more about this game since it was announced back in April. And now it's time for a deep dive into the world of Vikings.
Yes!
My name is Julien Laferrière, and I'm
Here
the
we go.
producer of Assassin's Creed
Already?
Valhalla. So a couple of weeks ago, we announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the reaction from the fans was just amazing.
Amazing,
The
yes.
time period of Vikings is really, really inspiring.
Yes.
When we
Get
did
into
our
the
research,
gameplay.
we found that, they were not mindless barbarians. Vikings were actually farmers trying to find new lands for them to settle.
That's true.
And so they had really human motivations.
But they were also very
So for
brutal
us to have this
at the same
opportunity
time.
to tell kind of the real story about Vikings and kind of separate ourselves from the myths and the folklore is really something that drove us to make this game. The team went to Norway and England to take the same roads that the Vikings did, to really experience what it meant to be a Viking at that time.
This is cool.
And then leaving Norway, which is barren but majestic, and just coming
Apparently
by
it is
boat
absolutely beautiful.
in
I would
England
love to go
and
to
see those rolling
Norway,
green
you know.
hills full of sheep, full of life. It's just this moment that most likely the Vikings felt as well. You need to see this land of opportunity. And this is exactly the feeling we want players to experience in this game.
Please show us the gameplay. Show
It is
me
a personal
the
event.
gameplay.
It is the story of Eivor, a Viking chieftain.
Oh, he's a Viking chieftain.
Eivor is either a male or a female. You decide when you start the game.
Oh, so they did separate.
They will have to
Okay.
leave Norway to settle in England because you just can't live in Norway anymore. There's too much political pressure, no
Okay.
resources available.
I see. So they said he's not going to be an assassin.
Obviously, in England,
Darby McDevitt.
it's full of
So I think he's
Anglo-Saxons
just going to
and
be
other people,
a hidden
and
one.
They don't
Like,
really
a
want
hidden
you
one.
there.
That's what
So
he's
you
saying.
will
He's
have to
not an
fight your way
assassin. He's a
there,
hidden
kind
one.
of build your own settlement.
Unless he
and see
literally
your
isn't
plan
an
properly.
assassin, and I will cry my eyes out. Because I know
Vikings were
Edward was the same,
brutal
but I
warriors.
still think it's a bit weird. And Black Friday, well, it's a decent game. Well, it's a good game. It's
And
just
the
a bit
fact
weird
that they
how
were
that's
mastering
actually
a
an
lot of
assassin.
weapons coming from the medieval times really inspired us to kind of revamp the fight system.
Ooh,
to leverage
love
the
that.
brutality and the
Hell
intensity
yeah.
of Viking combat. Vikings were not only fighting face to face, they were masters of stealth and deception when needed.
Were they though?
They used basically any sort of tactics they could use to
It's
win
like
the battle.
sort of,
So we want to portray the full
pre-America
range
guerrilla tactics,
of combat
'cause
that you can
America,
imagine
like,
coming
used
from the
guerrilla
Vikings.
tactics. Like, even back in like the War of Independence, if I remember correctly, I remember reading something
We are
about that.
very happy to finally be able to show you the game.
Oh,
we've been
thank
working
you.
on.
Please.
So please enjoy this deep dive into
Please.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Come on. In-game footage. This is looking beautiful already.
In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you will relive the epic saga of the Viking invasion of England.
Oh, dude! Oh
you
no!
play as Eivor, a Viking from Norway, who will lead his or her battle-hardened warriors
I
across
think
the
that
North
leaked
Sea
gameplay
to
footage
the
was
British
this
Isles.
footage. Oh.
Eivor is driven by an ambitious goal to build a thriving Norse settlement
This
in a
is
hostile
beautiful.
land.
Oh my days.
It is time we go a Viking.
Okay, I like this.
Today we raid, that tomorrow we may build.
England is a
I wanna
dark
hear,
age
like,
tangle
the
of broken
male
kingdoms
one's
and warring
voice.
dynasties, a land
Like,
of
properly.
opportunity and riches. As you prowl
Okay.
England's rivers by long
This is
shot,
cool.
you may raid locations
Whoa.
you spot from the shoreline.
So you can raid
Round your
this
ship
town?
and blow your horn to lead your raiding crew into battle.
Dude, this is looking cool. Okay, I don't like the cluttered UI and stuff. You can revive your teammates.
Your crew will assist you in all your raids, fighting enemies,
Oh yeah, the combat looks a lot
battling down
weightier.
doors, and
That's
stealing
cool.
cargo too heavy for one set of arms.
Nice.
Whatever riches and resources you pillage may be used to develop your settlement.
Dude,
giving
we're
you
getting
access
to
to
the
useful
settlement,
services,
yes.
better tools, and new settlers. At the heart of your settlement is the Alliance map. It will serve as a record of the allies you have made,
okay.
and a guide for future opportunities.
So this is the entire map. Oh my god, you can go to the entirety of
was a
England,
time of
pretty
warriors and legends. In Valhalla, you will find the largest variety of enemies ever assembled in an Assassin's Creed game.
Dude, that was cool! The combat really does feel weighty.
Every archetype offers a unique challenge.
Oh my god, this is so different. Whoa. That's
Others will use
cool.
nearby objects to their advantage.
What is
including
this?
the
Is
bodies
so.
of fallen
Oh my
warriors.
god. This
To
is
face
so
these
much
attacks,
more different.
You must find and exploit your opponent's weaknesses to gain the upper hand. Take the fight to your foes.
Jesus
New
Christ, you
combat
can do.
abilities.
Oh, the rope dart!
Harpoon. Pummel them with throwing axes. Incapacitate them with the new stun system to keep them at a distance. Or finish them off.
Oh my god.
Dual wield any two weapons you wish
Yes.
to unleash a deadly combination of attacks.
Yes, please, look at that. Oh my god, that's
Customize your
so
fighting
cool.
style as you see fit, and become a legendary Viking warrior.
I don't know how people can say it looked awful.
All combinations
Like,
of
now
weapons
people are
available
gonna want to
dual
play
wield,
this surely after seeing
including two
this.
shields.
Two shield, look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, the dismemberment.
Not all
Stealth! The hood's back!
In this
We all
new
know.
land,
Social
often you'll find a way to
Social stealth!
As Eivor is not welcome in England, you may need to outsmart your enemies, avoiding unwanted attention in towns and bustling cities. Use Eivor's hood and cloak to avoid crowds and slip past watchful eyes, an unseen hunter among the people.
Oh my god!
From capital cities and villages
I
to the
can't!
dense forests and
That
rolling
was
hills
so
of England,
cool!
exploration
Looks like
is
The
vital
Witcher.
to keeping yourself sharp.
I love it.
You must feed off the
I love
land if
it.
you hope to endure.
When you go fishing, hunting.
Hunt and forage to replenish your health and fortify
Oh
your
my
equipment.
god, this is so sick.
Search pagan
Stonehenge!
temples and Roman ruins for new
Pagan
activities and
temple.
challenges to
Oh.
strengthen yourself and your settlement. The more you explore, the more of England's secrets you will reveal.
Oh my fucking god.
Ravens, show no mercy.
Oh, I want
But
to put
as you
on
push
Walshy.
deeper into England, the enemy.
Oh, dude, this is so cool.
In a series of climactic moments, Assassin's Creed Valhalla will feature massive assaults in which you will lead Eivor's army into battle against heavily guarded.
I'll be watching that
Saxon
Walshy's thing after this. Oh my god, you're gonna shoot down with.
Today we fight for
This is gonna be better than Origins, I think.
We rebuild.
For Istanbul.
She looks like Ronda
Assassin's Creed
Rousey.
Valhalla will transport you to wondrous,
Oh,
haunted
hey,
lands
yes,
inspired
this from
by
the leaked
Norse
gameplay.
myths and England's pagan roots. It will challenge and surprise
Ooh.
with unforgettable characters, thrilling triumphs, and tragic losses, giving you the chance to live your own Viking saga.
Whoa. Dude, the hidden blade. For more gameplay in our post show, I'm gonna be sitting to watch that, obviously. Okay, I hope my Wi-Fi is good because I'm gonna. November 17th, so that's actually their.
9th century England is truly unlike anything the franchise has seen before. Assassin's Creed Valhalla will release this holiday season on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, PS4, PC, and Stadia.
But before ending this show, we have one more thing to share with you.
Splinter Cell? Or Far Cry 6? It's gonna be Far Cry 6, isn't it? Yeah, Far Cry 6, dude! Dude, this is actually looking cool. It's giving me some sort of like a bit of Far Cry 3 vibes, but mixed with like Colombia's Cartel or something. Dude, okay, I like this. This is actually looking bloody dope. Libertad. So it is Cuba, I'm guessing. It looks a lot like Colombia and like, ooh, it's 3-1 for Bournemouth. Oh. It looks like Colombian, oh man, mixed with Far Cry 3. I'm getting so much vibes. Oh, I like this song. So yeah, it's definitely Cuba or something along that line. Probably a fit and like a made-up country.
It's beautiful, amigo. Perfect, but useless.
Huh?
I have something for you, Diego. Give me your hands.
What is this? Whoa.
Papa. Now, the grenade is simple. It has 4 basic parts. The shell, which contains the explosive, the fuse, the handle, and of course, the pin.
Oh my god.
Breathe, Diego. Breathe.
Whoa.
The pin simply holds the handle in place. It is only when you let go that this grenade goes boom. Follow me. Now.
Jesus, okay. This is cool.
I am El Presidente.
I am El
Which means
Presidente.
that someday you will be El Presidente. And our people, they do not know how to be happy. They are torn apart by opinions, noise, indecision, strangled by their own freedoms. And even if you have love in your heart, even if you want what's best for them, if you only want to save them from themselves, they will hate you, Diego. Everything you say, do, believe, will be wrong.
So we're gonna have a massive city? Oh, okay, this is where that's from. Dude.
They will answer you with screams, call you evil, a monster, and give you this. So you tell me, are you evil? Are you a monster? Because our country is like this grenade, except it has 2 basic parts. Our people.
Where have I seen him from? He looks like Johnny Lucas.
Clutch them nice and tight, or we all go
boom,
boom.
I like this.
You understand now? Prove it.
Oh, it's 4-1 to Bournemouth. Christ. Oh, it's coming out on the February 18th. Wow. That's closer than I would have thought, to be honest.
And updates.
Later this year,
Thanks for joining us.
I want to see the post-show stuff, though. Yes, here we go. Dude! Impaled him. Oh my god.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ubisoft Forward post show. My name is Yusuf McGeed, and this is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to take a deep dive into about 30 minutes of gameplay.
This gameplay is
joined
actually
by a very special guest here.
Hey everyone, this is
Nobody's
Phil
gonna like that, are they?
otherwise known as Fizz. I am the quest director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
So Fizz, we're setting up here for what looks like an epic encounter. Tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so here we're midway through the quest that we're showing for UB Forward. Here we're looking at the assault of Berg Castle. So these are big moments that usually sort of culminate at the end of the story.
Oh
so
my
here
god, it
you
is this
are,
one
Viking Raider
from the
is
leaked
taking
gameplay?
A group of raiders and furs
I mean, it's
into
looking
Berg
good
Castle
in that, but
to go and take down Rued and his clan.
Improved.
So who exactly is Rued, and why does Eivor sort of want to pick a fight with him?
Basically, Rued comes into play about halfway through this story arc, where at the beginning of the arc, this is something that happens before, Rued basically caused a lot of turmoil within the territory, and Oswald, who's the sort of elderman to inherit this territory, needs your help to take him down. Oswald having just been defeated in a previous quest, and so here this is revenge, but also accomplishing your ultimate goal.
So Fizz, as you're talking, we're seeing some of the combat of Valhalla. Can you tell us a little bit about the changes to combat this time around?
We wanted to basically add a lot of new mechanics to it. So we added like some dual wielding for the player, like a stun system in there. And we really needed to do this to sort of portray that sort of the brutality that comes with being a Viking in this day and age. So it sort of fits into that, the time and the character.
Nobody's gonna like the fact that nobody's gonna like the fact that this is the exact same footage.
Oswald, he lives. Oswald lives!
Eivor, is that you? Shut your ass, twig spine.
Here, Eivor has taken her entire army through the assault, and finally it's revealed that our Elderman, our ally, Oswald, is still alive, and Rued has him captive.
So this is what it comes to, Wolfkist? 2 Danes fighting over a filthy Saxon whoreson? If this swine is your prize, come and get him.
Yeah, so
now
this
that
is
we've
exactly
seen that Oswald is alive, we have Rued within our
it.
sights.
Like in
What's the
terms
next
of people liking
So
this
the
and
next
stuff.
move for Eivor is to finally face off against Rued. She has her allies, they can take care of the rest of the army. Now it's time to go one-on-one against Rued in one of our boss battles, actually.
Your battle is not yet won, Oswald.
And it's worth pointing out, actually, that here what we're showing is the player going and facing off against Rued aggressively, but we tend to always have to support a 360-degree approach in these things. So the player could have approached this a little bit more stealthy and gotten at least like a good critical hit on either Rued or his wolf, and so you can play this a little bit more strategically if that's your playstyle.
So we're not only fighting Rued here, but also his pet wolf, right?
One of my preferred strategies is to eliminate the wolf first, just focus fire on him. It takes at least one opponent out of the combat. Now Rued will have extra abilities that come into play if you do eliminate his wolf, but I think having one opponent less in the battlefield makes for a good strategy in the whole.
Nice. Stop.
For all your efforts, only the cold dark of Niflheim awaits you.
Valhalla is my destiny. That fate will not be met today. Why does they should be ruled, Wolf-kissed? Made thralls, not treated as equals.
Slaves.
We are better than this. Than all of them.
Do not drag me down to the sewage you wallow in.
Why does a Dane fight tooth and nail for a Saxon?
We'll carve his finger.
You throw in with these wastrels? These arrogant swine?
Eivor, no! He should be tried before God, a lawful assembly.
All right, so we've defeated Ruid, we've freed Oswald. What comes next?
Oswald, in this case, prefers for Ruid to be kept alive, and so you basically have to choose: are you going to go against his wishes or stay true to your nature?
So we have this choice to make, but before we get into that, I want to rewind a little bit because we just did this big, grand assault, but Eivor couldn't have done it alone.
Oh, this is the leaked
He
gameplay.
really had to recruit some folks along the way.
Oh,
get some
nobody's
troops,
gonna
get
like
some
that.
allies. So let's actually rewind and see how we went about first gathering those troops.
I like it though. I like
so
the thing.
when coming up to an assault, it's a game of
the
numbers.
gameplay looks
Eivor
cool.
can
It
go
looks
into
like
pretty
The
much any
Witcher 3,
location
you know.
and be a stealthy
Says work in
Viking,
progress as
eliminating
well,
some of the assets, which ultimately would be a strategy. You can do that, and you'll have some of the ingredients or of the assets there that will have been sabotaged, but you still need an army. So here what we're seeing is Eivor going around the countryside and raising what we call a Fyrd, which is the men and the women of the territory who come up and fight in the name of a king. So here Eivor is going around and trying to convince people to fight in the name of Oswald to finally take down the oppressor that is Ruid.
Defending East Anglia, defending you. Will you not do the same?
What? Die in defense of a lost cause?
Yeah, so she's really using like the image and like the leadership that Oswald had, what he meant to the people in his name. She's going to recruit these people.
I don't really like
Pretty words,
dialogue choices.
But the men of Theovard have their own
Assassin's
battles to
Creed,
fight.
but
So we're told by
yeah,
this Reeve
what
that
can you
there
do?
are troops, there are allies that he could add to our cause, but first we sort of need to do him a favor, is that right?
Yeah, so obviously these people have been run down by Ruid and the impact he's had on the territory, so I think a lot of these people have sort of lost hope. And so you need to show them that there is hope. And so here Eivor is basically helping them take back one of their prized locations by taking a couple men and raiding a nearby
so yeah, more of the
township,
ship gameplay.
basically
I like
taking
it.
it back
I
for
like
the
it.
people and showing that there's a reason to continue fighting and then get them on your side.
Kingsbury. Berry. Golden sight. Oh, that is so brutal.
When
I like
Eivor
it.
does this, obviously you have access to a full suite of abilities. So again, the improvements that we've done to the fight system. You have some brutal axe throwing in there. You have archery or like range combat abilities in there as well. So really, again, like depending on what your playstyle is, you can customize your loadout
chopped
and
off
go
my
in
head.
there how you wish.
I really like this. I know people will say, "Oh yeah, it
Fizz,
looks
we
awful."
just
but
saw
it looks
this
really
giant
good though,
pulse
to
go
be
out.
honest.
What exactly was that?
So that is what we call the Odin sight. The Odin sight is basically our interpretation of the Eagle Vision from previous games. We
Dude.
thought it was good to sort of bring that back.
Yes.
It's basically Eivor's intuition. It's how she
Yes.
perceives the world. When
Eagle
Blair uses
Vision.
that, you can it'll highlight basically interactive objects, like
Oof.
things that will bring her an advantage. So we'll have arrows, like health consumables that are in there.
So it's basically-
so it really
it's
is like a
basically just the
good
Assassin's
way
Creed
of sort
Origins,
of understanding the world and showing you like things.
Well,
that
at least
you
they
can go
mentioned
and
Eagle
touch.
Vision. Loot chest.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of things we can touch,
spinning
we just
death.
picked up this awesome new weapon.
It's something we wanted to play with
Flame.
on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, where we have fewer weapons in the game, but you can invest
you
in them
can
more, so they
break
become your
windows.
weapon.
Okay,
And so depending
nice.
what your preferred playstyle is or your preferred weapon type, then you can go and choose, I'm gonna fight with this weapon and invest heavily into that.
Not only are we looting weapons, but we
Bible.
see something here called the Book of Knowledge. Can you tell us a little bit
like a
more about
Bible.
that?
They unlock skills for the player. So here you can see the
Sounds
Valkyrie
cool,
dive
Trey.
that has just been unlocked.
Okay.
We have these spread out throughout the world. So again, to promote exploration and discovery,
Dive of
as
the
you travel through
Valkyries.
the world and you explore locations, you can find these books that will add
Oh, the
abilities that you can
climbing, here we go.
and invest in, put into your
Okay, show us
loadout,
some of the
then go
climbing,
into the
alright.
different locations or the different quests in the game and use
Yeah, it
those
looks,
depending on what your playstyle is.
Bit floating.
Now we've
I think,
recaptured
but it
this
looks
village,
decent.
we've secured more troops for our assault. Let's jump back now and figure out what we want to do with Ruid.
Ruid will live.
The rightful king of East Anglia has spared your life today, and so it will be.
Compassion is a virtue suited for anyone, Eivor, including you. Thank you.
Eivor decided to let him live. Ruud is really angry about that. Being a Norse Viking, being put to the death in battle is your road to Valhalla. So he was basically denied access to Valhalla in this situation. Obviously, all of these decisions come into play later on in the game, so we have very difficult decisions for the player to make. We didn't want to have easy decisions.
Yeah, you know, when I was playing, I decided to listen to Oswald and spare Ruud's life. But what exactly is the relationship like between Eivor and Oswald?
So the relationship between Eivor and Oswald is an alliance. It's basically Eivor is surrounded by territories that initially getting into England are hostile towards her, and obviously if you want to set up a new settlement, you want to make sure that your neighbor is friendly. So here in East Anglia, Oswald is the man for the job, where putting him into a position of power would help her sort of secure her territory. So earlier on to the territory, Eivor comes in here, meets Oswald. The problems he had with Ruud are sort of put to light, and going through the arc, you basically help him deal with Ruud and aligning basically Danes with Saxons in one territory.
So, Fizz, we've completed the assault. We've gotten our hands dirty with some combat, taken down Ruud. We have this big open region of East Anglia, so before we head off to Oswald's wedding, what do you say we head out, have some fun, and see what we can get into in the open world?
That sounds great.
So we see a cat here with a speech bubble above it, and you best believe if you let me talk to a cat, I'm going to talk to a cat.
Yeah, these are some of our... some of my favorite moments actually in the game, where we put out a whole bunch of events throughout the territory. And it sort of rewards, again, exploration, going around. It's a chance for us also to sort of showcase a different side of Eivor. A lot of the quests sort of deal more with like politics and warfare, and this shows a slightly more human nature to her. So it permits us to explore that character a little bit more. And so here, basically, like you're trying to help a kid with his cat, and ultimately get that cat to sort of join your crew as a cat raider.
You just said cat raider way too casually. You're telling me I could have a cat Viking raider on my launcher?
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh my god! Cool. Yes, okay. I love it.
I'm fine with that.
So yeah, as you're riding around the rivers of England, you would see a cat basically walking around your longship, keeping your Viking raiders company.
You know, speaking of the Viking longship, we're seeing some of that gameplay here now. Can you talk a little bit about how that works and functions in Valhalla?
Yeah, so starting out on this project, I think the Viking longship is one of the biggest images that we all have when we think about Vikings in our game. And so Vikings had this awesome design for longship that had a very shallow hull, so it permitted them to go very far inland very quickly, and you could basically disembark Viking raiders like on pretty much any shore. We added that into the game where you can basically sail up to any location and then just decide to disembark with your guys and raid a location, loot all its treasure, get back in the ship, and then continue really sailing down the river.
I really like this. It looks so pretty.
So I know past Assassin's Creed games allowed for songs and things like that to be sung on ships. Will Valhalla have a similar version of that?
Yeah, so this is something we actually wanted the crew of your ship to become like your home away from home. So we added stories and songs into the ship. So basically, as the player is going around, you could decide to have your skald sort of sing a song for you as you row down the river. But you can also decide, depending on who the raiders are in your ship, to hear more about their life. So you can actually cue up stories, and they'll give you a little bit more background on who they are. So you
I really like this world. It's very pretty. The reflections on the water from the sun.
Which is a cool moment.
It's very nice to see England.
So here we're seeing a bit of a different view. What exactly are we looking at?
We had this on previous Assassins where you would like ride on your horse and you could pull out, have the horse sort of follow the track. We have a similar thing for the ship where you can put up your sails, it's cruise control for the ship, so you can pull back, take in the scenery, listen
Oh,
to some
that's
songs
so
or some
pretty.
stories, and just take it all in.
So, speaking of Viking songs, we have an activity here that's not exactly singing, but kind of related, right?
Oh, the rap!
Yeah, so
the
here
rap
what we
battle!
have is what we call flighting, which
Yes,
is
the
an
rap
activity
battle,
that
here we
most
go!
people partake in. They would like to have a battle of wits and sort of poetry, where insults would be thrown back and forth between each other. The idea was to try and have a good insult, but also to have a good rhythm and a good rhyme in there. So it's basically a precursor
Let's do
to
it.
rap battles.
Big bet.
Here's the silver. Now begin.
Oh, Viking
To
rap
all
battles.
those whom I speak, they say Eivor's a clod.
Then you're speaking to fools and their knowledge is flawed.
Well,
How exactly do you go about being successful in one of these?
The trick behind a good flight was to choose the right insult, identifying the right cadence, and then trying to find what rhymed the best.
I'm known for my might.
interesting. Interesting. Silent whispers all claim that you're terribly dense.
No one would say that. It doesn't make any sense.
Then you've clearly mishurt them. My wit is immense.
Oh, you looked out with that one.
I don't like the lip
Well,
syncing.
what a surprise. Eivor of the Raven Clan is a true talent. I'm shocked.
Don't believe everything you hear, unless it touches on my flighting. Then heed every word.
Take the coin.
So now that we've proven our sharp tongue and wit, I think it's time for a bit more relaxing activity. So we're fishing here.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
see,
it.
did you see the D-pad?
So
You can put the hood up
we
with the
gave
D-pad.
Eivor a fishing line, so you can actually throw out a line and go catch some fish. This is used basically to play into our new health loop, where the player will lose health in the world, and it doesn't automatically regenerate like we would have in the past. So you actually have to go out and get some supplies.
like
so
that.
you'll find mushrooms and some food that you can gather. But here, like you can also catch some fish and consume that to regain some health. We
I do
also
like that.
will sometimes have it in certain quests. So it's a good way to sort of chill out on the side of the water and just, again, take it all in.
Okay, nice.
So this is what we call one
Is
of
that
our
melee for?
offering altars. So the idea is that you find these around the world and you make offerings to it. So it'll take like animal parts and stuff that you can find throughout the world. Here what you're seeing though is sort of like a fancy version of it, where as you do your offering you get interrupted by some kids that basically come and steal your stuff.
Oh my.
So it's just a way for us to sort of showcase that like the systems and the activities in the world can sort of play in with some quests and some little events. So it's our way to sort of dress up these moments and make it all fit inside the whole experience.
Yeah, this seemed like a really sort of
East
unexpected
Anglia.
turn for what I thought was going to be kind of a simple interaction.
Yeah, and it's really what we were trying to do with these events is to give another dimension to Eivor, other than
Look
just
at
the
the Eagle
pure
Vision, it's so much
rar
better
Viking or the
than, like,
politician. Because you can
I'll
imagine
just
at
call
some
it
point
Eagle
that
Vision, 'cause,
we'll
yeah.
grow old if you're always telling that
it's
version
not
of the character.
like
So
as
it
good as
lets us
the,
really go into
Eagle
the
Vision
depth
of
of who
classic
is
games, but
Eivor, what motivates her, how she can interact with the world outside of warfare and politics.
Your stealth needs work.
And it also showcases like a different facet of the world at the same time. It's not only Eivor, so it just widens the breadth of the stories that we can tell.
So who exactly are these two children?
These are kids of East Anglia. They are going through tough times with whatever Rued's been doing to the territory, and so they're just here trying to survive and basically exploit the people that are there to make offerings.
It was kind of nice to see that Eivor
Really
wasn't really
like
necessarily
this.
upset at them for stealing, and after you talk to them, you have
So
the
that's
choice
Eivor's
of helping them. You
personality,
can, give them food,
quite, like,
you can give them
chill.
some money, or maybe just say, "Hey, good luck, on your way."
Yeah, and then this is something we also wanted to do a lot. Like, so here we're doing an event, we do it in quests as well, but we want to give a lot of this agency into players' hands so that they can sort of shape Eivor a little bit. who she is, so it represents them a little bit more, and they can role play that a little bit better. And again, it just gives her like a little bit more humanity in these moments.
Large walkers should do. Provide for small walkers.
Here, large walker.
A necklace.
Yes, it's a St. Martin seal.
St. Martin
You're welcome
seal.
here anytime, large walker. You're one of us now. Visit us, okay?
I will. Take care now, small green walkers.
More of the
So I think
climbing.
AC veterans might recognize this here. But,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
exactly is Eivor chasing down?
Going after some
Yeah, so
songs.
here you're seeing Eivor running down one of her tattoo images. So this is challenging the player on free run abilities, but also for fans
I like
of
the
the series,
free run.
sort of pulling at their heartstrings for some beloved features.
Yeah.
So are we going to be able to tattoo Eivor?
Yes, by collecting these tattoos, you actually bring them back to your settlement, and then you can customize different body parts, having different tattoos everywhere. So again,
Okay.
another form of expression, and it's sort of to represent that Viking culture.
Fizz, one of my favorite things when I was just out there exploring East Anglia was coming upon a house or a building and realizing that there was a chest inside, but that there was no easy way in. And in this
No
case,
easy way
I
in.
saw all the doors were barred, but I knew that because there was a
window.
chest in there must have been some way to get inside. So I
Okay.
went around the back
Let it
and,
go.
found a way in.
Yeah, I'm glad you actually caught on to that. You're pointing at something that we wanted to work on a lot on Valhalla, where
Puzzles.
we wanted the exploration to make you feel smarter. So we played a lot with puzzle solving, so making sure that every house that you find sort of appeals to you, like it draws your attention, and then when you want to come and explore, it's not given
like
to you. You
it.
still have to
I
work
like
for a little bit. So it'll challenge you on your observation skills,
gonna
logic, just
keep
trying to find
rewatching
how do
this
I get
until
into this.
Valhalla
So we
comes
play a
out.
lot
I
with
just want
level design, quest
get to know
design
that.
to offer challenges to players, and you basically come out of it like with a better feeling
I
for the
cannot wait for
exploration,
this.
but you also get to
Traveling
see
around England,
more of a story behind
an
these
RPG,
locations, which
like
we've
The
crafted. So
Witcher.
it gave us a little bit more time to sort of slow down the experience and tell
Ah,
a
there comes the
different
boss
version of a
fight, yeah.
story.
A poor victim of someone's fury.
Yeah, I mean, speaking about exploration and just finding things out in the world, I was just wandering and came across this clearing and found this kind of morbid altar.
Yeah, so this is one of our bigger events that we have scattered in the world. So as Eivor explores, she can find altars like this, and by interacting with them, here it's a trap that's been set by this character named Regan. Now, there's a bigger story behind all this. There's multiple steps to it later on. So this is one of the moments. It permits us to go into a slightly more mystical realm and play with a boss fight that has more magical abilities, if we will. And basically have this awesome boss fight in the middle of the swamps.
Whoa.
And so here the abilities that you see Reagan using are a little bit on the mystical side of things.
Yeah, I don't
What's
like
happening is Eivor at the beginning of that trap is poison, and
Oh,
so she
okay.
starts sort of hallucinating, seeing the world in
Yeah,
sort of
I'm
different
fine with that then.
light and filter. And so
I am fine
that's
with
sort
that.
of what lets us go into the realm of the weird.
My rage, spirit of my father's rage, fill me!
I do like how it's like not like well no it's oh time. Go on,
Enough is cracking and crunching. Then rest your demons.
So we just saw here that Regan belongs to something called the Daughters of Lyrion.
Yeah, that's correct. By finding the other daughters, you'll get a little bit more backstory on who they are, so we don't want to spoil that too much.
Okay.
But it creates like a sort of greater story that is not on the main path in any way, but it is still very rich and adds to
Nice, I
the
like
lore of this world and actually plays into history.
So we just had a really exciting, really intense boss battle. I think it's time for something a little bit more relaxing and calming now.
Yeah, it's all about pacing yourself with the highs and the lows. So here we have a low chill moment of what we call building a cairn. So Eivor, as she explores the world, will find these sort of meditative areas where you have a pile of rocks that you could just stack on top of another using physics. And I mean, yeah, the ultimate goal is to try and get the highest pile of rocks, but really it's about taking in the sights, relaxing, taking a step back, and just building something.
Together we stack stones into cairns.
These?
Yes. Think of this as a test of mind and wit. Stack the cairn stones high and wide into any shape you like.
I mean, you can spend as much time as you want building these things, making them as high as you want, as weird as you want. I'm sure, like, a lot of these stuff will end up on the internet, like people comparing structures. And the cool thing is that once you've built it and you decide to get out of it, it sort of stays there. And so that's yours, right? And until the moment where you come back and you want to build a new one, it's sort of cool that we were able to give that to players to express themselves.
That's cool.
At this point in the demo, we've explored East Anglia, we've met some children, we've broken into a house, we fought a boss, we built a cairn.
It looks so pretty.
Now it's finally time to
Oswald's
go
wedding.
and head off to Oswald's wedding.
Yeah, so this is the moment it's all been building up to. By the moment you get into the territory, it's sort of like mentioned by Oswald that he's trying to get married with his Dane lady. And so as you go through the arc, that's sort of like the underlying thread. Really, it's about Rued creating turmoil in the territory and helping Oswald sort of get above that and show that he's a good leader. And so you finally, after going through all of that arc, finally get these two together, go through their wedding, and you're invited to attend the ceremony. And then all the activities and fun times that comes afterwards.
Yeah, as much as we've seen the brutal side of England, it's nice to see the joyous side of it as well.
Yeah, and it's something we really wanted to play on in Valhalla, where being a Viking is not only about being a raider or a warrior. I mean, there's revelry, there's feasting, there's partying that goes, and like if someone knows how to party, it's a Viking.
I like it.
And so here, this is one of our opportunities to sort of show what a sort of Viking gathering is. And what's cool here is it's a good alliance of Norse
it's a lot like a
culture
game.
with Saxon
It's
culture,
like a game.
sort of smashing those two things together and
Drunken
building
archery.
bridges.
Yeah, I mean, what's a wedding without some drunk archery, right?
Yeah, so like anything can happen in a Viking event, right? Eivor, yeah, here, you just get drunk, shoot some arrows.
Ah, barely a challenge.
Steady all, and ready yourself for the wedding race. The king and his bride against all.
I do like this. Wait, what? Ooh, my word.
So here we see the decision I made to spare Rued came back to bite us.
Yep, that's the decision you made coming back. So as we said before, all of your decisions have consequences, and this is a big one.
I challenge you.
I accept.
Whoa.
You're basically presented
Let
with
me
the
fight
option
Ruby
to
off.
sort of step in for Oswald, fight the fight for him, or let him go and fight his own fight.
Yeah, personally, I chose to fight myself because I thought Eivor is the type of person who likes to finish what she started.
Plank by plank, and a dead king cannot keep his oaths. Let me finish this.
Oswald, you gutless Arya swine! I'll slay the wolf-kissed, then hang you with your own tongue.
I reckon I'm gonna like that.
How does this encounter with Rued differ from our previous fight with him?
So at this point, you've eliminated his wolf, so it's just him, and so he's angry at this point, and so he will start using his big gun abilities like fairly earlier on in the fight. So it's way more vicious, way faster. There's less strategy. He goes literally swords blazing at you, and so this is a fight to the death.
Tell me you get a cool killing this.
And of course here, like, this is a decision you made to go and fight him, but there's multiple outcomes to this scenario. You could have let Oswald fight his own fight and prove basically his station as the rightful leader. If you had eliminated Rued, obviously this would not have happened. It would have been a slightly more joyous occasion. But ultimately, in all scenarios, you still have an alliance with Oswald. He's proven to be the right leader for this territory and to be a good ally for you.
A great service. I promised you an alliance, and now you have it.
And one day I will need you to make good on that alliance.
The voice actor's
So
good.
we're about to take off from the wedding,
actually
but
pretty good.
Eivor decides it's a good idea to check up on her friend Finner.
Yeah, so Finner is probably one of the more recurring characters in this arc. You get to meet him very early on. He's a very endearing character, sort of used to have a Viking life, sort of misses it, and going through all these adventures together is sort of like lights that fire back, and so he's willing to join you in your raiders. So he's one of many raiders that you'll encounter in the game, and you can sort of recruit, bring back home, and then have them sort of join you on your adventures on the ship. He can tell you these stories that we're telling you about. You get a little bit to know a little bit more about him. So again, it's a fun way to sort of discover more about these characters that you meet and bring them along for adventures.
Together. I'll gather my things.
Well, folks, we've come to the end of our Assassin's Creed Valhalla playthrough. Fizz, thank you so much for joining us. When and where can people play it?
Assassin's Creed Valhalla will be out on Xbox Series X and PlayStation
They're gonna
5,
get killed
and is
in
coming
the-
to Xbox
in the
One,
sales,
PlayStation
that's the
4,
thing.
PC,
Ubisoft-
and Stadia on November 17th.
It's gonna screw up this. We're gonna get killed in the sales. Come on, leap of faith for us. No leap of faith. Right, I don't care about hyperspace. Thank you guys. See you in the next one. This was incredible. I loved Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Loved it. I cannot wait. I'm more hyped than I ever was. I quite enjoyed the Far Cry 6 thing. Obviously, it's just a cinematic trailer. Can't say much, but it looked very nice. Looked very cool. Hype. What else was there? There was something else. How the hell have I forgot this? What is wrong with me? I just got so ingrained in the... Oh, Watch Dogs Legion, there we go, that looks amazing. It doesn't matter anyway. See you in the next one, guys.